There it is, that time of day, Wednesday, 11 o'clock Pacific time, where I get to come on and talk to you about roadblock removal for speakers and coaches. Just me today, and hopefully you, if you want to come in, I'll put that up here. It's joinraylive.com. Come on in here, ask any questions. Here's who I'm talking to today. I'm talking to you coaches and speakers out there that are amazing at what you do. You feel like you might be the best kept secret in your industry. So whenever you get to do what you do, you're amazing at it, but you're not getting to do what you want to do often enough. And to me, where that comes down to is people have great rapport building skills. People understand what it takes to get their job done, but they don't understand how to take a stranger and connect with them to get to those rapport building skills and get to use your business skills and meet people. So today we're going to be talking about that. There's three quick things I'm going to give you that I think are simple and things that if you work on, you will get more interest in what you're doing and people will flock more to you, because right now you're just not doing what you need to do, or you're trying wrong. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is becoming acceptably unusual. Now, what do I mean by that? Acceptably unusual. It's something where when you meet a stranger, the prime time of the real estate, the best real estate you have in meeting a stranger is when you first start talking to them. And what do we do when we first start talking to people that we really want to work with? We are reverent and we're in awe of them and we're so happy that we talk to them. And we might even say that. We'll say like, oh God, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to talk to you today and present what my company can do for yours. And that, what you're doing, you want to have level conversations with people. You are a peer, you're an equal, you are an amazing individual that does amazing things. You cannot have a reverent call, what I call an uphill call. If I say, thank you so much for allowing me to come onto your home screen here. You could join me at Join Ray Live. It doesn't say that down there right now, but it could say Join Ray Live if I just did this. JoinRayLive.com. Come in here, ask questions, leave comments. But we're talking about being acceptably unusual. How do you meet people? Here's the secret. Here's a secret, because there's no one secret that solves this. It's 100 little things that add up to a big change in what you get. When you meet a friend, I want you to pay attention to this. When you see a friend, somebody you haven't seen for a long, long time that you know really well, listen to the conversation, how it starts. It never starts with questions. It starts with statements. They'll see something, oh, nice orange shirt. Oh, look at that. It looks like Cartman's getting crushed by rocks over your left shoulder. It'll start with something like that. Great friends never once in the history of your life have ever started a conversation with you, if they're great friends, by saying, good morning, how are you today? You might say that to a somewhat acquaintance, but you always say it to strangers. You always say it to people that you're trying to meet to do business with. And it immediately shuts that curtain down. So you are not able to raise that curtain and walk freely through it to get the connection that you need with those people. So begin conversations with comments, statements, not questions. That's tip number one to becoming acceptably unusual, because most people that they meet who aren't well known by them will use questions. So you become acceptably unusual. It's not they won't raise their eyebrows, and actually I'm not raising my eyebrows, lowering my eyebrows, but they won't be concerned. It'll be as if a friend is talking to them, and you will get a subconscious ability to be on that same level as them. Because friendships are equal exchanges of life joy, basically. And it's not money. It doesn't have to be any one thing. But if you're my friend, and if I give you good advice and you listen to my problems, and then I make you laugh, and then you do something that makes me smile. We're on an equal footing on that, and we can go forward in our friendship. But when friendships start to go uphill or downhill, that's when friends drift apart, and that's when it doesn't work, because it's got to be an equal exchange over time. That's how good friendships work. People keep score subconsciously. If a friend's, oh man, this person's been so needy lately. And if they continue to be not needy, they start to drift away. So create the familiarity of friendship with complete strangers, and they will treat you as if you are a friend. Don't ask questions. If you go up and ask people, can I ask you a question? The first thing they do is they immediately lean back and they tuck and lower their chin. But if you said, I have the craziest question, then they lean in and say, tell me more. You're just trying to create a situation where you can show your personality, your business personality, and what it is that you're doing for them. What are they getting out of what you're doing? So becoming acceptably unusual. Now, how do you meet some of these people? Well, I'm going to tell you about a concept that I call the ego call. And if you think about people that you'd want to meet, if you think about these people that you're trying to get in touch with, and that if you call them up and said, I'd really like to work with your company, they go, thank you very much, click, right? But if you have a article you're writing, a book that looks at there, and the ego stands for experience, genius, and outcomes. And if you appeal to their experience, their genius, their outcomes, their ego, and you say, I'm looking for great CEOs that are using humor in the workplace to contribute to my book, Leadership Through Laughter. I was hoping you had 10 minutes so I can ask you a few questions and see how wonderful CEOs are using this as a tool, as a weapon to grow productivity versus something that they're trying to quash. Every time I do that, the person says, yes, I have 10 minutes. I'd love to talk to you. I'd love to be in your book. So the ego call, another way to put it, I've heard several people call it an air conversation, advice, insights, and recommendations. However you're doing it, one of the things, and this comes from one of my mentors, David Newman, when you send out something to them, embed a compliment into your ask. I'm looking for great CEOs to contribute to an article about leadership through laughter. There's the appealing to their ego is what we're doing right there. So that's the ego call. That is a way to meet people that would not give you the time of day if you were trying to sell them, or would not give you the time of day just to have a general conversation. Now the subject lines and the emails you send to do this, whole nother thing. Add a bonus right here. Make them as simple as possible. Take off all your logos, take off all the things, write them as if a friend is writing to a friend. Jim, time to catch up, need your help, whatever it is, just short, quick. If you have anything important, put it in the PS. So there's a little bonus right there. The third thing you really want to do to kind of create a stranger's attraction, basically, is what I call creating benign surprise. Now, surprise is a major factor that puts smiles on people's faces. When they see something unusual and it doesn't hurt them, benign, creating benign surprise, they smile or they laugh. Surprise, laughter is built around surprise a lot of ways. Think about when you saw a small child do something that you didn't think they would do, or they ask a question that you didn't think they would do, and it doesn't hurt, but it's just different than what you thought. It puts a smile on your face. It makes you laugh. Now, the other side of that is that surprise causes anger. If you're doing something at work the boss doesn't expect and he doesn't know you're doing it, he gets angry at you sometimes. I'll give you a perfect example. See this right here, this little mark? I have a 20-pound cat named Tucker. And every time I pick that cat up, it actually enjoys getting picked up. So it will kind of lift up like that. And I'll pick it up and it purrs and then hangs on there. Well, guess what? I picked it up 2 days ago and I didn't have as firm a grip as I normally do on Tucker. And so he slipped a little bit, which was not benign. He thought he was falling, and it was a surprise. So what did he do? His paw was right here and just zink, right like that. So now I have a reminder that surprises can be bad, surprises can be good. So what you want to do is create a benign surprise. What is going to be acceptably unusual? Creating a benign surprise is going to put a smile on a stranger's face. It could be anything. There's so many different things. If you've got some ideas on that, put it in the comments. Come on here at joinraylive.com. Join me. So these are three great ideas. Be acceptably unusual. You want people to understand how different they are, how different you are. You want to be not what everybody, good morning, how are you today? That does not create any kind of welcome spirit. That creates pulling back. So make statements, don't ask questions, appeal to people's expertise, genius, and outcomes. That is something that they will react to, they'll respond to, they'll want to be part of your article. I've sent out emails with the subject line that I need a hero, I hope you're it. And those get open remarkably well. Short ask. People only read 26 seconds of an email from someone that they like. So do it very, very quickly. So send out ego calls. Send out requests for ego calls. This is not a quick way to a sale. It is a quick way to a relationship which leads to a sale. Friends buy from friends. If their friends aren't available, they buy from their friends. So you have to create the friendship first. And to do that, you have to create the connection. So an ego call is a way to connect between where you are now and where you want to be with someone that you don't know. All right. Now, the third thing is creating that benign surprise. Create the benign surprise. That's what you want to do. Make it something that doesn't hurt. So you cannot rip people apart. The surprise comes from joy, basically, something that they weren't thinking about. From a humor standpoint, I have a program called the Humor Algorithm, which I'll be running shortly. And anybody that wants to take it, give me a call out there, or just direct message me on there. But it's all about how to create humor. And one of the things that humor is based around is surprise. Most of it on water cooler humor or dad jokes. Those are things that come from what I call two-way options, which a more official term would be a phonetic ambiguity. And it's a word that has more than one meaning, that if you look at as a humorist, you want to look at the logic of the words, not the logic of the idea, because everybody else is focused on the logic of the idea. If you twist the logic of the words, the people who are looking at the logic of the idea will be surprised, and that creates the benign surprise that works so well. So those are three things. Again, being acceptably usual, the ego call, create a benign surprise. I'll be here next week with a guest, and we'll be talking more things that can help roadblock removal for speakers and coaches to get more work, get yourself out there, get yourself heard. Please drop a line in comments if you have questions about anything we talked about today. If you'd like to hop on to a 15-minute call and talk about where your sticking points are, no sales, no BS. I just want to get you going, get you better, because if I do that, then you'll want to work with me more. So I'd be happy to help you out and unstick some things. If I can't unstick some things in 15 minutes, well, then I've lost my touch, because I haven't had one not work yet. So drop me a line, direct message me, be happy to talk, and I'll send you the link to my calendar, and we'll go from there. But thanks so much for tuning in. It's great to see all of you here. I just saw that Carl Richards was on here, and he and I were on last week. His little videos got over 1,000 views on the things that we sent out from this thing. So you're making it work. It's making it happen. So happy to have you there, and I appreciate you. Come back next week, and we'll try to do something else that we can make your life a little bit easier. All right, everybody, have a great Wednesday, and I will see you next week.